Welcome guys to the Meet Damien live stream where we talk about cryptocurrency, stocks, commodities, whatever it is you want to trade today. I got a big following off of the cryptocurrency crowd here. I know you guys like talking about Bitcoin. So we do start the stream here by looking at Bitcoin first. We see that Bitcoin has dropped today pretty significantly. Hit some levels that I've been looking at. I've been looking at these levels for a while now, highlighted with these red lines here. I mean, I kind of got the moving averages here, so there's like a bunch of lines here. But I have some lines here that I marked on the chart based off of previous resistance and support here, and we're hitting these lines, these levels here to the T, for damn sure. Okay, so why not trade off these levels as day traders here? And then for the investors out here, I'm not sure if Bitcoin's gonna be doing the thing for a bull market this year, because it looks like it's just repeating past 4-year cycles where we top out in the fourth quarter of of the 4-year cycle, and then we end up having a bad year. And I can see that we're kind of still doing that here with Bitcoin and crypto. We do get bounces up, we do get relief rallies. All right, we had the relief rally here in January where we saw Bitcoin get up to like 97,900, almost 98k. But then, the wind gets taken out of our sails here, and we come right back down to 84k all over again. Okay, now I am looking for longs at this area for Bitcoin. I was trying to get in at 83,500 or 83,600, but I didn't get filled. I saw that we dropped down to that level, and like 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, I was like, okay, can we get back down? We actually saw Bitcoin go down to like 83,200 today. So, me asking for 83,600 wasn't too much to ask for, but so far I haven't got filled on that long order. But I had made a killing here on the shorts, okay? I was shorting Bitcoin earlier yesterday and today as well. You can see here on the Discord server that I did a Bitcoin short. It was pretty much a banger percentage gain in P&L for that trade, and I am working on a silver long. And if you can see that right here, I did do some people wonder, like, is he a profitable trader? Is Damien a profitable trader? Because I get that every now and then in the live streams. I get people asking that question. And yeah, I shorted Bitcoin at 89,900. This is a little bit off because I actually did get Bitcoin at 90,500 yesterday. Because I've been taking profits and then also adding to the short, it readjusted the entry price to 89,943, and then it shows here that I closed at an average of 87,900, but I actually did close a little bit below 87,900. It just took the average there, and yeah, I've been in also a silver long here. Okay, silver, I was in a 20x long. I got in at $108. I was looking for a drop in silver here, and I got it. And actually, I was able to close out that silver long just about an hour ago. We got up to a little bit higher than that. Yeah, we got up to like $116, $117. I was able to get 135% gain out of it on the silver long. So I do long and I do short. And I try to share this knowledge here with you guys on the live streams, and also here on the Meet Damien Discord server that I'm on right now. All right, where you can see when I go live, and then also I share what I'm doing here with silver. Like, once again, this was it right here. This is the closing entry on the last part of my silver long. I actually got up 161% on that long 20x long there, and yeah. I also share, what I'm doing in the trade, how I'm managing the trade. Like, in this case, I was, managing the stop loss where I put it at $111 here on silver. And this was when I was already in profit. Like, the trade was already at 114 bucks, but I put the stop loss a little bit past break even. I got in at 108, put the stop loss at 111. Price was trading at $114. And then I was trying to take profit at 117, and it hit. It did hit. But we also got other people in here on the Discord. And I'm just making this thing out for the Discord here. But we also got other people here that are showing their gains here on the Discord. It's not just me. There's other traders out here, like Cameron. He did a 100x short here on Bitcoin. And yeah, he's brave enough to do 100x on leverage on a Bitcoin short. And he took it down from 89,600 to 88,000. Cameron's one of our more experienced traders out here. Canada Dry, all right, Canada Dry, he actually did a 10x short on Q and was able to get 451% gains on his 10x short. So we're not afraid to short the market when we see a good entry here, guys. And of course, you know, there's Cameron one more time, and there's Lorene. Lorene's one of our newer traders here. She's learning how to play the game of day trading here, and she did her 20x long on gold, was able to get up 30% on her gold. So congratulations to Lorene there. And yeah, we got a few more people here showing up in the Discord, showing their gains. All right, and I know these gains are hard to get. That's why I don't mind letting you guys show off in the Discord here, because it's a lot of hard work to not only getting a trade and also, you know, staying in the trade, but managing the trade, you know, moving the stop loss to break even, and then further into profit, and then still not getting stopped out, because that can always happen. But you know that you can get stopped out in profit, and then lose the trade, and then you got to figure out if you want to get back in it or not. But sometimes, you know, sometimes the trade just continues to go. But these are the winning trades here that people were able to manage it pretty well here. You know, there's Cameron up 650% on his Litecoin short. He took it down 150 with 150x and made 650% gains there. So congratulations to Cameron for having the gall, the, you know, should I say balls, but having the confidence to take 150x short on Litecoin. And you can learn all this by going into the Meet Damien Discord here, guys. It is a free Discord to join, right? And for my TikTok guys, you can actually see that here. I got the Meet Damien Discord link here. But if you click on this under the bio, the link tree, it will take you to my my link tree, and you'll see all the links to join the Meet Damien community here. We got the Meet Damien server, which is free to join. You click on that link, you'll be ready to go. We got the Meet Damien YouTube. You guys might be watching me here on YouTube. You guys might be watching me here on TikTok. I do 2 live streams here. I do both live streams here on YouTube and TikTok. And I'm on Instagram and Twitter as well, and Facebook. And then, of course, if you want to day trade along with me and the rest of these day traders, we do have a link here to sign up and join WEEX here. That's that link right there. I'm already getting into the advertising already, but hey, you know what? Whatever. Yeah, if you join the WEEX link, you'll be able to take advantage of some of the promotions here on WEEX, where they do have, well, if this thing's gonna load up, right? We do have $30,000 of bonuses. I'm trying to show this here, but like, where is my WEEX, you know, account here? Can we load this thing up, please? I gotta click the refresh button. Did I lose my internet access here? Are you guys still here with me? Let me get back into the oh my god, I just got a blank screen now. What the hell? Oh my god. Well, so much for that. Anyways, there is a cryptocurrency called WEEX, and I promise you, it actually does work if you click on the link. Maybe I should just go in the link tree here and see what it's like if I actually do click the link here. What does it do here? Alright, so there's the WEEX exchange here, and it says my session expired. Okay, it logged me out of WEEX here. I'm gonna have to log back into WEEX. But they do have you know, the bonuses here, if I can show it to you. Oh, wait, maybe they don't, because I'm not logged in right now. Oh, there we go, the new user promotion right there. Okay. Well, you got like up to $30,000 of bonuses that you can play around with here on WEEX. What it is they give you like margin with like 10 or 20 or 50x leverage, and you can actually trade for free here. All you gotta do in this case, if you want the $5,000 position airdrop, you got to make a deposit of only $100 of US dollar tether and hold it for 1 consecutive day. And then also you gotta trade that money here. Do about $1,000 of volume. So I mean, you do $100 with 10x leverage. That's about $1,000 of volume right there. And then you'll get like this $5,000 position airdrop to make another free trade on WEEX. Okay, so might be worth taking a look at. Go ahead and sign up on that link there. You know, if you click on this link and on Linktree here, you'll be able to start trading on WEEX there. Well, let me get into the chat. See what you guys are saying here on TikTok. Susclip says we are good. That's good to hear. Let's see. Bombzis says Bitcoin just lately feels like gambling. Not quite gambling if you know what to look for the levels here on Bitcoin. And I mean, if you're talking about day trading, it could be gambling if you treat it like gambling. If like you walk in, you say, all right, am I long or shorting? That's, you know, that's not a good way to approach day trading. You gotta look for your levels first. You gotta pick your zones. Okay, I already picked my zones here. I said I want to be in Bitcoin on a long at 84K or 83K, which I actually did get in on the long on Bitcoin at 84K, but I got knocked out of it. I went in at 84,500 and then it dropped down to 84K and I got knocked out. I did my risk management. I had my stop loss in there, and that was enough for me to prevent myself from losing too much money. Because if you don't put a stop loss, then you're gambling. That is definitely gambling if you're not using a stop loss. But then the other stuff about day trading, it comes with psychology, where, you know, some people would like immediately get back into a trade after they lose a trade. But me, I was like, all right, well, maybe I can get in at 83,000, you know, dollars, and I've been waiting for Bitcoin to go down to $83,000. We only went up down to like 83,200. But I'm actually trying to get in at 83,600 because I saw that we went to 83,200. I think, you know, if I put my entry at 83,600 and I put my stop loss at 83,100, you know, I might only lose $20 on the trade, and that's like the cost of doing business. I view this as a business. This is not gambling. This is a business, and you know, as far as the business goes, you might have some days where you don't make money, or you have some days where you lose money, but then other days you make money, right? It all depends on what kind of day you're getting, okay? But in this case, we definitely got some volatility here, where Bitcoin dropped down to 84,000. You know, this area that I already highlighted here, 84,500, okay? And we actually went a little bit further than that, down to 83,200. So this is an area where I'd be looking for a long, and then I would take profit at 87,500 if we actually get back up to that level. And then I'm also looking to take, you know, some more profit at 90K if we ever do get back up to 90K here. But some other things you can look for here is moving averages here, okay? Moving averages on the daily time frame. There is a 21 EMA at 90,900. That's an idea for taking some profit on your Bitcoin long or spot position. Also, you got a 50-day moving average here at 93,900. That's an idea to take some profit if we ever do get back up to those levels here. So I would be looking for longs, not shorts right now on Bitcoin. And then there's other indicators that we look at. You would have to stick around for the live stream to see how I get into the indicators here, but I usually look at the momentum indicators as well. I'll look at the MACD to figure out, you know, is the selling done, or are we gonna see more selling pressure here? And then I also look at market cipher B indicator to figure out, you know, is the money flow in the red or the green? And right now it's in the red right now. And is the money flow gonna start climbing back up again, where we might see green again, and we might be, you know, seeing our longs play out and our spot positions play out here on Bitcoin. So that's what we do here. We look at the charts, and, you know, if you look at the charts, look at the levels, and you pick your zones, and you're careful about your trading, where you're not over trading or revenge trading, then it shouldn't be gambling. It should be just the cost of doing business, and you're just another business here. That's how I view it. Bombsy says, you seriously doubt it will hit any lower lows? What do I think? Well, I kind of just gave you what I thought about Bitcoin here. Lorraine says, the ass is going to fall out of it all. Well, if Bitcoin continues dropping like a rock, you know, some other people are looking at 80K as a possible level here. Let me throw in the VRVP indicator here so you can see why I picked these levels. I didn't just randomly pick these levels. Yes, I do look at the candles to see if there's any candlewick highs or candlewick lows. I look for body closes and body openings here. But another indicator that I use to justify these levels is the VRVP indicator here, which is showing you the green and the red here. The green is where people were buying, the red is where people were selling, and it shows you the level where majority of people were buying and selling. And it's showing that the majority of people bought and sold Bitcoin over the last few months here, going back to October is where I'm pulling all this data from. October last year, the majority of people bought Bitcoin at 87,500. So that's what we call the point of control, or the POC. For the cool kids out there, they want to call it the POC. And it's this blue line that I highlighted. Well, it's this blue line right here, but I highlighted it with a red line so I don't forget. So when I'm not using the VRVP indicator here, I still have 87,500 to look at. But when I got the VRVP indicator fired up and ready to go, it shows me that $87,500 level. It shows me the $90,500 level here. It shows me the $91,400 level. It's like a secret. This is the secret levels, guys. These are the levels you should be looking for. Nobody knows about these levels unless you're an expert trader that can look at the candles here. But if you're not an expert trader that can look at the candles here and figure out support and resistance, this is like a cheat sheet here, the VRVP indicator, okay? And I got the VRVP indicator set up to show me where these levels are. If you guys want to learn how to set up the VRVP indicator to figure out where these secret levels are at, if that's what we're going to call it, then you got to go onto the TikTok here. Follow me here on the Meet Damien, channel here on TikTok. Make sure you follow me right now because there are some people trying to copycat me and pretend to be me, But anyways, we do have the, the VRVP indicator video right here. All right, it has 2,100 views. You want to know why? Because there's a lot of traders and investors out there that are getting beat up on their trades right now. They thinking it's like gambling. They're not sure what levels to pick here. And the beginners, this is a great place to start to figure out, where to put your trades here. I'll follow you back, Bombsy. Thank you. And then also the expert or the experienced traders, they're like, what the hell is a VRVP indicator? And they look at it and they're like, yo, this thing is like money. You can trade off of these levels here. And I go into the VRVP indicator here. It's right here pinned to the top of my channel here. I also got a video here about the Fibonacci tool for those who want to learn about the Fibonacci. And then I also got a video here for if you're brand spanking new to trading and if you want to learn about the RSI, the MACD indicator, the stochastic RSI, the candles and what they all mean here. I mean, I got the beginning stuff right here, and then I got the more expert trading stuff here, and then the intermediate trading stuff here as well. And these are like the really good. That's why I pinned these videos here on the Meet Damien channel, so you guys can learn for free as much as you can. Take advantage of me as best as you can. And then, if you want to, you can send me some gifts here on TikTok, for your appreciation for my bestowing the knowledge upon you guys here on how to be a better trader. I've already showed you like the gains here on Discord, right? I always showed you like, Cameron over here makes money, but then, I made some gains here today with silver, right? And I made some gains here with Bitcoin, right? Shorting Bitcoin. Who makes money while Bitcoin's going down? I do. All right, and so do my fellow traders here, and you can see that here on the Meet Damien Discord. Free to join. Like I said, you can find that link here on Linktree, right? And I put the Linktree website on the Meet Damien TikTok here. You click that link right there. And I think I've also put it on YouTube, but if you guys need to, you can go with the TikTok and find it over there, or you can let's see. Did I actually put it on YouTube? Let me check this real quick. I think I did. I put it in the description. Yeah, it's right there. The Meet Damien link tree right there in the description to the channel. You got all the links, to join. And I also even put the Discord in it. Did I put the Discord? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I put the Discord link in there as well. Okay. So there you go. All right. Thank you, Lorraine, for liking the live here. Appreciate that, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button, double tap that screen here on TikTok. My YouTube guys are being quiet, but there are people watching me. They're just watching and not saying anything. Kind of creepy. No, I'm only kidding. No, I appreciate everybody here for being on the live stream. Don't forget to smash the like button. That's the least you could do here to help me out here and get this knowledge, this alpha out there to the other day traders out there that are trying to figure out, or even investors, trying to figure out, is Bitcoin going to go up and how much? And then, if Bitcoin's going to go down, how far down is it going to go? In this case, we got the VRVP indicator here off to the right, and we do see a value area low at 81,800. Not so much 80K, but there is a level here. I probably should mark that on the chart since, I got that right now. There is a level here at 81,800 that I should pay attention to in the future here. Okay. And then also we got the value area high above us, which is a high volume node here at 106K. Whew, man. I don't know if we're ever going to get back up to 106K, but if we do, I would expect a rejection over there, mainly because you got the value area high to the upside at 106K. And then you also got the 200-day moving average at about 104,500. I would take profit on your crypto if Bitcoin actually goes up to that level, because we just don't know. Are we going to go up there and get rejected and come back down again? you could sell at the 200-day moving average. You can sell at the value area high, and then come buy back in again at 80K again, all over again. Do it one more time. Rinse and repeat. Make some money, right? All right. But if you know, some people are afraid to take profits, and that's why they end up losing their money or round tripping their gains here. You know, they end up not taking profit when they're in profit. And if we do go up to like 105, 106K and Bitcoin continues pushing past it after you sold that 105, 106K, well, you can go back, buy in again at 109K and just continue on, ride that train to the upside. But wouldn't it be nice if Bitcoin went up to like 106K, you sell it at 106K, and then it comes down to 90K, you buy back in a little bit, and it comes down to 80K, and you buy back some more at 80K, and then you see it go back up to 105K, and you can sell it again if you're, you know, if that's your prerogative. All right, you know, the whole point of this is to buy low and sell high, right? If the price is high, you sell. If the price is low, you buy. It's such an easy concept to understand, but it's like so hard for many people to execute because of greed, because of fear. And right now, there's a lot of fear in the market with Bitcoin at 84K, but we could buy the fear. We could buy the fear. We can put our stop losses below, you know, some levels here. So that way, if we are wrong, we're not wrong by a lot, okay? You could put your stop loss at 80K. You could buy at 84K and put your stop loss at 80K or 79K if you want to be safer on the bet here. And then if it gets hit, it's a small loss, right? If we go down right now, if you're spot trading, if you're a spot trader, an investor in Bitcoin, you're not really doing the day trading here, and you were to buy now at 84K and you put your stop loss at like 79K, somewhere in that area, you're only risking 5%. And you're risking 5% to see if Bitcoin climbs back up to like maybe like 94K to get like 11%. Or if it climbs up to like 100K, you'll get like 20%. Or even 106K, you'll get 25%. Okay, so this is a good area to try to buy Bitcoin if that's what you're trying to do here. If you're not doing the day trading or the leverage trading, you can still make some money doing this, okay? But anyways, let me get back in the chat, see what you guys have to say. I am willing to take some requests here if you guys have some requests. I know it's a little bit tough today because everybody feels like Bitcoin and crypto is garbage at this point because Bitcoin's at 84K. But I am willing to take a look at your stocks or your crypto. I'm probably going to move on to like gold and silver here because gold and silver did make all-time highs. And maybe I'll take a look at some stocks here if you guys have some stocks. I know stock market's not doing good right now. So it's not just crypto. You know, the stock market's taking a hit. We have possibly a government shutdown coming on tomorrow. The Democrats are trying to defund the Border Patrol and ICE, and they're going to fight for that and also try to fight for, you know, affordable insurance here. And they're going to do that by not funding the government. So that's going to be a problem going forward. And the markets don't like that uncertainty with government shutdowns. So that's why stock market's taking a hit, and also crypto's taking a hit. We also didn't get help from the Federal Reserve yesterday. They didn't lower interest rates, so that didn't help. So yeah, we're kind of due for some problems here. And then also we have a potential conflict in the Middle East with Iran, okay? So there's a lot of bad news out there and not that much good news, and that's most of the reason why the markets are down today. Let me just catch up on the chat here. On TikTok, Bosmi says the US generally sounds like a simulation. Okay, maybe. And then Sent Pick says, what you think will happen to Bitcoin in the upcoming weeks, looking to get a good long-term entry? You might be able to get a good long-term entry. I'm still looking to, you know, right now I think, you know, it's worth taking a long if you're day trading and try to get some Bitcoin at 84K here. And maybe you put your stop loss below the lows for today at like 83,200 or a little bit below 83,000. You're not risking too much here. Or you can wait until we get down to some levels here further where we can get down maybe to like 81,800 is where the value area low is at. That could be an area where you could, you know, it's about a couple of $1,000s cheaper than where it is right now. And then also another idea is to like maybe try to long Bitcoin at 80K, where we saw Bitcoin go down to 80K in like November 21st. We went down to 80,500 here, 80,524 here on Coinbase Exchange. So that's another idea. We could try to, you know, buy some cheaper Bitcoin and long it at that area. I see you, Lorraine, here on YouTube. Appreciate you coming on to YouTube here and doing that rocket emoji. OFG says Bitcoin's in support right now. So yeah, it is in support. There are levels here. If I get rid of the VRVP indicator here, you can see that just looking at the daily candles here, there is previous candlewick support where Bitcoin has come down to like 84K, 84,400 on December 18th. And it also came down to 83,800 on December 1st here. And then also 83,400 on November 22nd. So this was an area to like take a shot at long in Bitcoin here. And yeah, you know, I do want to get into a long on Bitcoin. I'm waiting for my WEEX trade to get set up here. I actually got to let me see if I can log into the account here. I'm gonna have to flip the camera here on my TikTok, so wait, you guys don't really see the password here. And then I don't know, I think my YouTube guys won't be able to see it either. But let me just to make sure. Let's see. WEEX, what the hell, WEEX? Come on. All right. Are we gonna log me in? Give me a second here, guys. Oh, come on. Yeah. Why is this thing taking forever to load up? All right. Okay. Log in, please. Yes, I'm not the robot. Log me in, please. Oh my god. Now the Google Authenticator stuff. Ugh. So I got logged out of my account, unfortunately, here. But let me bear with me, guys, here on TikTok. You might see me come back in like 2 seconds. Let's see. All right, I'm back in. All right, I'm back in. Let's go ahead and flip the camera back over. Okay. So I am trying to get into a long here on Bitcoin, if I can. Let me just show you guys here on the futures. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, there you go. I made $177 shorting Bitcoin here. Got in at 89,900 and closed it at 87,900. Average, you know, that's just an average because I took profit along the way last night and this morning here. Let's see. I am trying to get into a Bitcoin long here at 83,600 if I'm able to do so here. And I was gonna try to take profit at 85K. It looks like we're about to hit that right now. And stop loss at 83,200. So there you go. I'm ready to go and get filled. I might even bump this up to like 86K maybe. Yeah. But you know, that's with like about $100 a margin using a 40x long on Bitcoin. But yeah, you can see it on the chart here. Let's get in the chart. What was I doing last night and, you know, this morning here and this afternoon? Well, I was shorting Bitcoin. You know, I've been shorting Bitcoin. I've been shorting it. I shorted here at 89,400. You can see that open a short here. Let's see. Where was my 90K? There was a 90K one here. Yeah. All right. I sold here at 89,240. Yeah. So I've been selling and then also taking profit here on the shorts, where I'll buy it, you know, buy it back in again at 88K. Add to the short again one more time at 88,500, and then buy back in again, taking profit along the way on the short here. Okay, and then I think I even re-entered the short one more time. Okay. Yeah, what is it? What does it say? 83,900. Okay, I actually was trying to take a long here at 84K. and then I got knocked out of the long, okay? And then I was like, all right, I'll just wait for it to come down a little bit lower, and I missed this opportunity here where we came down to $83,000. I was actually hoping for it to go down to $83,000. I went to 83,300 here on WEEX exchange, and I was just waiting for 83K. And sure enough, the market turned around. It didn't actually go down to 83K. And now I'm like, all right, well, can I get 83,600? So I'm just waiting for 83,600 to get to try to long Bitcoin. And I could wait. I could wait. I'm not in a rush to get into a trade right now. I can wait for my levels to get hit. And if it doesn't get hit, it doesn't get hit. And then if it keeps on pushing up, I can look for a short instead and try it all over again. OFG says, am I positive it's going up? Well, I guess I need to look into the 1 hour time frame. That's where I start with Bitcoin here, is the 1 hour time frame for my day trades. And I try to see what the MACD is doing. And on the MACD, you can see the selling pressure got, pretty violent this morning. 1 o'clock was the steepest drop here on the MACD. Then we started seeing selling pressure die off a little bit. So that's why you're seeing Bitcoin climb up from 83K to 84K. Then you see this blue line, this blue moving average line here is curving up. If it continues to curve up and crosses the orange line to the upside, you're actually going to see buying pressure show up. You're going to see the green candle stuff, the green stuff start showing up. And that's really good to see on the 1 hour time frame. It means that if you're in a long, you can stay in a long, but if you're not in a long, you might want to open up a long to take advantage of the buying pressure on the 1 hour time frame. But that hasn't happened yet. It's something that could happen later on, maybe today or tonight, Here on Market Cipher B, you can see that we got a green buy dot here on the 1 hour time frame at 2 o'clock Eastern time here. The momentum's starting to curve up here. However, money flow is still negative in the red, and I want to see money flow curve up. It was curving up earlier this morning around 8 a.m. and then Wall Street came in and just dumped on everybody. And I'm going to blame it on Wall Street. Wall Street's been doing this every single morning for like the last 2 or 3 months. Sometimes they'll trick us and they'll actually buy Bitcoin, which they did on Monday, okay? But like usually I notice that Wall Street likes to dump on us 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning and Eastern time. And then that's why money flow just dumped down on us again here. And we saw Bitcoin drop to 84K, 83K here. I want to see money flow start curving back up again. Now Wall Street's closed for the day, so maybe we might get a little bit of a relief rally tonight, but I'm not sure how strong and vigorous that relief rally is going to be. But going on the 1 hour time frame, it's a good idea to look at the momentum indicators to figure out what's going on out there. RSI was oversold. You can see that here, and maybe this is just an oversold bounce that we're getting here on Bitcoin. If we were to continue climbing up on Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame, we could get knocked down by this 21 EMA. This 21 EMA could potentially be a good take profit if you're already in a long on Bitcoin. 86,400 is where that's at right now. But remember, this thing is going to continue going down as the price either continues going up here. So if the price is going to continue going up, this thing they might meet each other, and it might be around like 86K when this price actually joins the 21 EMA line here, and then that would probably be where I would take profit for sure. So I would be monitoring the 21 EMA on the 1 hour time frame to figure out when to take profit on any longs here on Bitcoin. Let's see what the 15-minute time frame is showing here with the moving averages. We are above the 21 EMA on the 15-minute time frame. If we were to come back down here on Bitcoin, we could get some support off the 21 EMA. Alright, that's an idea. Alright. We might go below it and then come back up. We might trade sideways here. We just don't know for sure. But this is a good sign to see that we're getting above the 21 EMA. And then the next thing you're going to see is, like, are you going to get up to this 50 moving average here at 87K? Well, we already looked at the 1 hour time frame. We said 86K would probably be where we take some profit. But we could take some more profit at 87K here, because that's where the 50-minute time frame is showing us a 50 moving average. The green line here is my 50 moving average on Bitcoin. Alrighty, all right. So that's just an idea there for Bitcoin. Now let's see, on the 50-minute time frame, do we have the momentum to go up to that 50 moving average? Right? We got to look at the momentum indicators. Do we have the momentum and the juice to do it? Well, it looks like the momentum, this is the blue stuff here in the market cipher B, the momentum is going up. Money flow is going up. So we might, like I said, we might get a little bit of a relief rally later on tonight where Bitcoin might go back up to like 85, 86K. And then here on the MACD, you got buying pressure that showed up. It started showing up here at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. You got the MACD crossover to the upside. So, you know, I think we want to go up. I would start to worry if we see light green show up here where the buying pressure starts dying down, kind of like you saw like here, like the buying pressure starts dying down and then it goes into the red. That would be your signal to take profit on your long, or maybe even possibly enter a short if that's what you want to do for like a scalp trade or something like that. But I'm not really the biggest fan of scalp trades. You know, scalp trades, I feel like my win rate is like 50-50. I like looking for the big A+ trades here. Like the A+ trades is like, all right, Bitcoin coming down to 84,300. That's an area to try to take a long because we have come down to that price. All right, and then you put your stop loss like $500 below where you got in at, and you know, that's usually good on a 40x, 50x long on Bitcoin. But another area you could probably take, you know, a long at is the 81K, 81,000. Well, in this case, 81,800 is another area where I would try to take a long. Put the stop loss $500 below that, so like maybe like 81,300 is where I would put the stop loss at, and then see if it hits, you know, and takes us up to the higher prices here. In this case, I want to play 84,000, you know, 500 up to like 87,500. That's where I want to take profit if I could, because this is another level to look for. So my A+ trade right now is 84K to like 87K is where I would take a long right now to take some profit right here for sure. And then I would probably think about actually going into a short. I would go into a short at 87K and see if it comes right back down to 84K one more time. Take profit on the short at 84K. Bozza says, can't ever know for sure. Yeah, we can never know for sure. Markets will do whatever they're gonna do and what they want to do. But we do come on to this, you know, these charts here to try to figure out what might come next here. And, you know, just look at the 50-minute time frame. It's showing that the momentum is to the upside. So we should see higher prices here. But look at this. Uh-oh. This is why you got to watch the charts, too. You can't just be a lazy trader. You can't be a lazy day trader. You could, you know, if you're just not going to overtrade. But if you're going to be on it, which I think you should, you got to look for this. Like right now, the buying pressure is dying down just a little bit here on the 50-minute time frame. Let's see what it looks like on the 5-minute time frame. Buying pressure has slowly been dying down. So maybe I might actually see my $83,600 order get filled here on Bitcoin. I'm trying to get $83,600 for a long on Bitcoin. I'm not chasing it. I'm trying to see if maybe it comes back down to like that zone. And then I can get a really good price for a long, and I'll put my stop loss at 83,100. And if I get stopped out, I get stopped out, and I accept it for what it is, because maybe it's not ready to go up again. Maybe it wants to continue going down. But I know a lot of people get themselves in trouble because they just want to prove themselves right. They're like, oh man, I know Bitcoin's going up. I know this is good prices, and they try to long again after they just got stopped out. And then they try to long again after they get stopped out. And they try to long again after they get stopped out. And it's like, bro, you got stopped out 3-4 times. How many times does the market need to tell you that you're wrong and what your thesis is wrong and today's not the day to long, you know? Or right now is not the time to long. Like you can wait, you know, wait an hour, go to the gym, go get something to eat, you know, hang out with your kids for a little bit, you know? And then go back and look at the charts and try to figure out, like, why were you wrong? And does it make sense for you to try again? Or maybe you should try to take the opposite of the trade. Maybe you need a short, okay? That's all part of the psychology of being a trader here. That's something that they don't really teach, but you gotta, you know, I could teach it as best as I could, but you gotta experience it as a trader yourself. That's all part of your trading journey. You gotta learn, you know, more about yourself and your psychology. Like you could still be right about longing, but maybe now is not the time to long. Maybe later on tonight's the time to long. Maybe tomorrow morning's the time to long. You know, Maybe you just need to not get in the trade altogether because you didn't pick out your levels correctly. You know, maybe you got to revisit your levels and figure out, you know, is that level an actual level to be looking for, or maybe the, you know, a level below is a level you need to look for. Okay, that's something else you got to figure out. But I think I do a pretty good job of figuring out the levels here using the VRVP indicator. I like to look at like a few months, you know, backwards, so I get, you know, a good amount of data. I don't need to look at like years ago. I'm just looking at like a few months, like going back to like maybe July or August of last year. And then I turn that bad boy on, that VRVP indicator, and it tells me the levels to look for. The highest volume node is at 87,500. We could long Bitcoin at 84K right now and take profit at 87K because a good majority of people bought Bitcoin at 87K over the last few weeks and few months here. Okay? The majority of people, everybody that was buying Bitcoin over the last few months, they got in at an average of about 87,500. Some people got in at 84K. That's another high volume node here. Some people also got in at 90K. That's another high volume node level. Some people also got in at 91,400, and I already marked these levels on the chart here, so that way when I don't use a VRVP indicator, I still got those levels to look for. These are levels I'm trading here. You know, another important level, 94,400, 94,500, which, you know, a couple of days ago was right where that 50-day movement average was at, that green line. That was a lot of confluence there. If we were trading here, I would try to take a short on Bitcoin because I know, you know, there are people who are using the VRVP indicator here. There's also people looking at candle wicks, you know, where, you know, Bitcoin got up to there and got rejected. And then there's also people using the moving averages, and all those people would agree that, you know, Bitcoin should be sold at 94,500. And you could join them by taking profit on your long, or you could join them by opening up a short at 94K. So these are the levels that I already choose. You know, it kind of makes things a little bit easier now for me to like look at the levels and be like, all right, when I'm down here, I'm looking for longs. When I'm up here, I'm looking for shorts. Here, kind of iffy. Could be, you know, you don't want to take a trade. You know, if you're able to take a trade, or if they're you know, anxious to take a trade, you can do a scalp trade or something like that. But, you know, if you get up to like in the middle levels here, maybe you could, you know, if you're at 87K and you see the price is, you know, has the momentum to go up, then you'd be like, all right, I'm going to take a long at 87K and I'm going to try to, you know, take profit at 90K. And then vice versa. If you see the price dropping down, right, and you got the momentum for it, you can be like, all right, I'm going to short Bitcoin at 90K. I'm going to try to take profit on my short at 87,000. Or I'm going to try to take some profit at 84K. You can even break it up. You can take a little bit of profit at 87K on your short, and you can take a little bit of more profit at 84K. And then maybe you could take the rest of your profit at 81K if you want to do that. You know, you got to figure out what kind of strategy you want to use here as a day trader here. But we go over that, you know, here on the, you know, on the live streams here as best as I can. But we also talk about this in the Discord. You know, if you want to, you know, talk to me and learn more about, you know, day trading and investing when I'm not live, you can come on to the Meet Damien Discord, free to join here. And I got people that ask me questions and they run things by me, some ideas here. We also make jokes here whenever we can. You know, this you know, Donald Trump, oh, we're going to win so much, you know, while the market's in the red, right? So we share some laughs here. There's me, you know, like I was saying, like, you know, this is the Bitcoin bears today. If you guys remember this from The Big Short, you know, the guy's like, I was right and everyone was wrong. I was right and everyone was wrong. That's what the bears are feeling like today, you know, for Bitcoin. So yeah, we share some laughs here, and you can find that, you know, once again, you know, the link to join the Meet Damien Discord and pick my brains for free along with the other experienced traders that are there. You just come onto the Discord. You can click that link if you're on the computer, but it might be hard if you're on your phone. If you're on your phone, you can click that link tree button and it will take you to the Meet Damien link tree, where you can find that Meet Damien Discord that's free to join. You can also find me here on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me here and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't done so already. I'm trying to build up my YouTube channel as well. My TikTok channel is doing pretty well. It's got like 6,000 followers, but you can follow me here on TikTok as well. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, if you wanted to do that. And then, of course, I got a link here to join WEEX. If you click that, you'll be able to start day trading on WEEX here with me. And yeah, this is what WEEX, you know, sometimes it takes a while to load up WEEX here, but, you know, this is where I can trade WEEX. WEEX is kind of cool because you get the indicators here for free on WEEX. These are the same indicators you can find on TradingView. And I believe you can also do a VRVP indicator here. I could just look that up here. Let me just see if I could pull the VRVP indicator. Yeah, the volume range visual profile. So you can do the VRVP indicator here on WEEX. There it is right there on the right. Okay. So WEEX has that all for free. Alright? Whereas like if you go on TradingView, you know, you gotta pay for a subscription for TradingView. You don't get that indicator for free. That's a very powerful indicator that they're not gonna let you get for free. But if you want to trade on TradingView, I do have a link for a discount for the subscription on TradingView here. If you go into the referral links and bonuses on the Meet Damien Discord, I can help you get like $15 off of your subscription with TradingView. Okay. And also here you can see the other links here to join Coinbase. If you want to join Coinbase Exchange, here's a link for WEEX as well. Also, I got one for MEXC if you guys want to trade on MEXC. And MEXC is actually where I got my silver along here. I was up like 145% on that long there with silver. And yeah, there you go. You know, there was the price. I got in at $108 earlier today on silver because I picked the levels using the VRVP indicator. And I sold that. I actually sold at 117 bucks, but this took the average, and the average says that I sold at $116 for my silver long here. So, you know, you could trade silver here on MEXC, okay, which is pretty cool. Let me show you some of the things you could trade here. You could trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. They got gold if you want to trade gold. They got silver. Oh, they got some other ones cool. Like you could trade the Nasdaq here. That's pretty cool and new here. If you want to trade like stocks here, you can trade that on MEXC. And there's the QQQs for you stock trading guys here. It says that it's currently at $630, right? The QQQs have been, you know, pretty solid. This is relatively new, so they don't have all the trading data here. But you can go on to like TradingView and type in QQQ and you know, figure out the levels for QQQ here. Right? This thing has been up and to the right ever since like April of last year. Alright, let's see. Mar says Bitcoin. We just talked about Bitcoin, Mar. We talked about it for like the last 30-40 minutes here. I haven't really gotten any requests for coins here. We did look at silver for a little bit, I think. Yeah, Mar. You can watch the replay on the YouTube video, Mar, if you go to the Meet Damien YouTube. Lorraine wants to look at gold and silver. Okay. I got you, Lorraine. Let me just make sure I didn't forget anybody else's requests here. Thank you, Wally, for following me here on TikTok. I did a lot of talking here, and I don't know if you guys put in a request and I forgot to go over it, just request it again, and I'll be able to look at it, because I don't know if I want to dig through the chat here looking for this. But we'll look at gold and silver, and then we'll go back to looking at Bitcoin again, because I am trying to get into Bitcoin for a long, if I can, at 83K, somewhere in that area. 83,600 to be exact. Alright, anyways, gold. The price of gold making a new all-time high today, because this is a safe haven asset where people go to when there's fear in the markets. And you know what? There's a pretty good amount of fear out there. There's a possible conflict with Iran coming up. There's the government shutdown probably tomorrow. Democrats aren't happy with the Republicans, and they're going to want to shut the government down because of that. And then there's, you know, just the markets in general are worried about inflation still being an issue. And then Microsoft yesterday had a bad earnings report, I believe, or maybe it just wasn't good enough, but it was enough to send Microsoft stock down like 10 or 12% today, which is dragging down technology stocks. And you know, with all that BS going on, people are like, you know what, I'll just put my money in gold. You know, if this is the BS that we got to deal with here, and you know, well, stock market at all-time highs already. But in this case, gold is actually at all-time highs, and gold, you know, hit a $5,300 target that I was looking at earlier, and I have to keep readjusting the Fibonacci because, you know, we keep making new all-time highs, and then it's like, all right, well, I gotta readjust the Fibonacci to like the new level here, but the levels will look up for us, you know, before I adjust the Fibonacci here. We are looking at a 1272 Fibonacci extension levels, the upside at 5,600. So mark that on your chart, 5,600, which I think is like a 5% gain from where we are right now, is where silver could go next here. I'm sorry, gold. I said silver. Gold could go up to like $5,600 here. What? Later on tomorrow, maybe Sunday night when the futures markets opens up again. There is a 1618 that says gold is on its way to 6,100. That blue number there, 6,168. And we've been in this like kind of uptrend line. I drew this yellow line here. We've been in this uptrend line. If we keep doing what we're doing and we don't go down and we don't go up, but we just continue going up into the right here, this is saying that gold can get up to like $6,000, and it can probably do that right before Valentine's Day. Go get your significant other, the gold or necklace or ring or whatever you're gonna get your significant other. You need to do that now rather than later, because this is showing that gold is gonna go up in the month of February. And probably hit six grand. Lorraine says Mar is asking for Canton Network. All right, I see that. All right, let me go ahead and write that down. So I'm gonna finish up by looking at gold and silver because they're kind of related to each other. But I will look at Canton for you after we look at silver here. Okay. All right. So there's gold. You know, in a bull run, starting to go a little bit exponential. Can it continue? Momentum is still to the upside. The MACD is showing that buying pressure is still increasing on gold. And I would start to worry if like the blue line started curving down, but it's not even doing that on the daily time frame here. If the blue line starts curving down, you'll start seeing buying pressure go down as well. You'll see light green candles instead of dark green. And that's probably where you should take profit on your gold, but you don't have to do that today because gold is good. And you'll probably see it go up again tomorrow. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, you'll probably see gold go up again tomorrow. Alright, so that's the daily time frame on the MACD. And then here on the market cipher B, which is another momentum indicator, money flow is still in the green. Money flow is actually starting to curve down though, so maybe people are taking profits now that gold is above $5,000. However, you don't have a red sell dot here. Alright, if you see a red sell dot here, then I was like, alright, maybe it's time to sell some gold, get out of your longs, take some profit on your longs. But you don't have that yet. Last time you had a red sell dot was last Friday. So I don't know, maybe this Friday, maybe tomorrow, we might see a red sell dot here. But there you go. You don't see a red sell dot here. And then look at this. We had a green dot that came in right away on Tuesday after we had that red sell dot on Friday. So, you know, it's like, I don't see anything that says that gold is done going up yet. I think gold still wants to go up. It's an easy trade. And now you're getting like dumb money and retail money is getting in because it's such an easy trade. Like all you have to do is buy now, wait a week or two, wait a day later, and it goes up to a higher price than what you bought it at. And it's in such a predictable fashion where it just maintains this uptrend here. If gold was to get a pullback, right? If it was to get a pullback, maybe it could come down to this 21 EMA is an idea here at 4,700. And you got this 618 golden pocket at that level. I think people are now interested in buying gold at 4,700. They weren't interested in doing it like back here in the middle of January when it was at 4,700. They were like, oh, well, maybe gold will come down to 4,200. but it didn't. It went up. So now that gold is at 5,300, people are like, oh, well, maybe I can buy it at 4,700. And that's an idea because the 21 EMA is there, and you also got the golden pocket at that level too. So we'll look at. I'd be interested in buying gold at 4,700. If I'm trying to get into the gold trade and hoping that it still maintains this bull run to the upside here. Let's look at silver. And sorry guys, I'm still a little bit sick here. I actually gotta grab tissue here. Be with you 1 minute. Not even. But the price of silver currently trading at $115.80. I actually took a long on silver when it dropped down to $108 earlier today. It actually went down like $107 or something like that. So I got in using my levels here to look for. And I was able to benefit by taking that long, and I actually sold silver at 117 bucks here, which is a previous daily high that it did here on Monday, January 26th here, 2 days ago. If silver was to actually get a deeper pullback and retracement, I would expect it to come down to at least the 21 EMA sitting at $90.31. That's right where the 618 golden pocket is. So like, gold has the same thing, right? Where if we come down to the golden pocket, no pun intended, then that's an area to try and take a long on gold. And in this case, same thing with silver. If we come down to the golden pocket, sitting at 90 bucks, that's an area to try to take a long or buy silver if you want to at 90 bucks. So definitely better than buying at 115. But we just don't know. We might not ever come down there because, like, look at this. The 21 EMA hasn't really been touched since November of last year, November 21st here. So, the fact that we're above all the moving averages here, the 200, the 100, the 50, the 21 EMA, this just leads me to believe that silver is extremely bullish. So we might not even drop down there. Okay? We might come down and make a shallow pullback to the 786 retracement at $102. Is an area where you could try to put a long on silver if you're trading silver right now. But to the upside, we got the 1272 Fibonacci at $136. That's actually where silver might be going next, guys. Alright, as we go on this exponential run here in silver. And then there's also a 1618 saying that silver could go to $161. How nuts and crazy is that? It says it could happen on the charts here. We keep doing what we're doing right now. Alright, but do we have the momentum? I have a feeling that we do have the momentum because gold has the momentum to go to higher prices here. But do we have the momentum on the daily time frame here? Using the momentum indicators, the MEXC, the moving average convergence divergence indicator here, it shows that the buying pressure is strong and solid and increasing. And the signal line is, the orange line is going up, and so is the blue moving average line is going up. So silver is looking strong, and it looking like it's good for a long. There you go. I did a little rhyme there. Strong and long for silver. But you did get a red sell dot here on Market Cipher B, so that's a little bit of pause, a little bit of caution. But the thing is that you get red and green, red and green, red and green all the time. So this is just showing the ebbs and flows here. Maybe it might be cheaper tomorrow to buy some silver. Okay? Because you got that red sell dot here. But another thing about this Market Cipher B indicator is that if the silver price starts going up, literally like right now, probably like to like 117 or 120 bucks, back to the all-time high of $121, then this red dot will get probably canceled out. It'll probably disappear. And then all you got left is this green dot that said, oh, you should have bought silver on Friday last week. So this is something you could just jot it down in your notes like, oh, we got a red sold on the Market Cipher B indicator. But it's not an end-all be-all, and you should never like rely on just one indicator. What I am more concerned about on this indicator here is money flow. Money flow is in the green, so it's good. However, money flow looks like it's kind of going flat now, which is, I mean, it can still go up in price when it's flat. What I would really be concerned is if I see money flow start decreasing, like back here in like the end of December. But you can see money flow decreasing, and then it increases again. Just throwing everybody off for a loop here. And, you know, back here towards the end of December, you saw, like, you know, back here, if I can zoom in, you saw, you know, silver try to go sideways, even try to go down a little bit here. And then it caught the bids again in January. And you can see that here showing up on the market cipher B, where, like, money flow was coming out of the silver, and then it came back in again. So, ridiculous. Silver was the best performing asset to be in for 2025, and it might still be for 2026. All right, let's move on to Canton here. We'll take a look at Canton for more. Canton Network looks like it's trading here on MEXC exchange, cryptocurrency exchange that I trade on here. If you guys want to start trading on MEXC, I do have the referral code here for MEXC. You can find it on the Meet Damien Discord, or you can just message me on TikTok and I can send you the link to join MEXC. But anyways, Canton here is trading at 17.5 cents, up 9.69% today. Got a nice solid green candle on the daily. Canton looks like it's relatively new, so I don't really that many moving averages to use because it hasn't been around long enough to have a 100-day or 50 or 200-day moving average. You do got the white line as a 21 EMA. You could trade off of that maybe. If Canton comes back to the 21 EMA, an idea is to like try to buy that if you can at 14 cents if you're inclined to do so here. I kind of want to go into smaller time frames here to see if there's any more moving averages we can work with. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame here for Canton. And now I got some more moving averages to look for here. On the 4-hour time frame, you got most of the moving averages here, the 200, the 150, sitting at 14 cents. I think, you know, we already made the determination at 14 cents, especially on the daily time frame here. 14 cents is where we could try to go long on Canton here, or maybe add to our spot bags here. Kind of got like, I mean, you know, somebody might say this could be a bull flag here. You know, another person was called this a double top, so watch out for that. Let's see, try to connect this. I don't know. Maybe this is more like a rising wedge, maybe. All right, this is just an idea on the 4-hour time frame here. You could be in a rising wedge or an ascending triangle here on Canton. But right now, because you're in this rising wedge or the top of the ascending triangle, I'd be looking for shorts. See if this thing comes right back down to the moving averages at 14 cents. Take profit on the short there. And you can see if it actually goes a little bit further. You could probably take partial profit at the moving averages here at 14 cents, and then maybe take some more profit if it comes down to like 12.5 cents here. And maybe it actually forms a trend line here, and you can actually maybe go long at 12.5 cents and see this thing comes right back up to like 17 cents all over again. Just an idea, you know. We're playing around with it. We're trying to figure things out here. I think it might be prudent for me to do a Fibonacci on this. We'll do a Fibonacci now. Measuring from the top here to... I'll go down to lower prices here. I'm going to disregard this because this was like a double top. There was a top here. So there's like a top here and a low here. And you can see that the golden pocket is sitting at like 14 cents. So, you know, 14 cents, I think, on this asset is an area that you need to pay attention to try to take profit on the short, or maybe you can go long at 14 cents, see if it comes right back up to 17 cents. And then look at this, 0.5 retracement at 12.5 cents, roughly. I did say you could try to go long here, because this could be part of a developing ascending triangle, or a developing rising wedge here. So I think 12.5 cents is an idea to try to go long here on Canton. And I'll just do one more bonus here with the VRVP indicator, see if the VRVP indicator agrees with any of these levels that I just pointed out here. We did say 12.5 is interesting and 14 cents is interesting. Let's see if the VRVP indicator says anything. The VRVP indicator is not really showing much here. It's saying everything is below you. It's a brand new coin. The majority of people bought in December at this blue line, this dark blue line at 8 cents. Everybody's in profit, so this thing could be overvalued. You could, according to the VRVP indicator, you're overvalued because the value of your high is below you, and you got to go drop down really far to get back to the value of your high at like 9 cents here. So you don't really have that much to look for support below you, according to the VRVP indicator, until you get down to 9 cents or even 8 cents. But there is a high volume node here at, looks like there's somewhat volume here at 11 cents. So 11 cents is an idea here according to the VRVP indicator. So I don't know, you got to pick your levels here. I probably, try to see if I can long at 14 cents and also long at 12.5 cents roughly. But maybe you could try to long at 11 cents just because the VRVP indicator says that's an idea here. And then of course, put your stop losses tight. I don't like losing more than 1 or 2% of my total account value on a stop loss. So whatever that is for you, make your adjustments so it's you only lose 1% or 2%. Because if you only lose 1% of your account on any trade, you could do that like 99 more times before you blow out your account. And you don't want to blow up your account for the day traders out here. It probably is going to happen to some of the beginners. This happened to me when I first started day trading. But it's part of the trading journey. And that's why I think, if you're going to day trade, you should try to do demo trading. Like if you're going to WEEX over here, you go in the WEEX cryptocurrency exchange. This thing always takes a while to load up here. But if on WEEX, they do have, before you start, playing around with all the buttons here and not knowing what you're doing, you can do demo trading here, where you click on demo trading, all right, on WEEX. And now it says, your Bitcoin perpetuals are now demos, okay? And you can trade Bitcoin, for free and make all your mistakes using basically like Monopoly money here. Okay, in this case, the demo account has like 19 grand in it. You could ask for more money, right? Oh wait, I thought I had the button there. Yeah. But anyways, you can always add more money to the account if you blow up your demo account here. And you can play around with the buttons here by longing and shorting and figuring out how much margin you want to use. But like I said, if you're going to trade with 19 grand, right? And you were to try to long Bitcoin right now, let's say we're going to try to long it right now. And we're going to do it with like $2,000 of margin, right? With a $19,000 account, you don't want to lose more than 200 bucks, right? So wherever your stop loss, in this case, we're using like 25x margin here. Your stop loss, if I type in like 84k here, you'll lose 270 bucks. So that's probably where you should put your stop loss, right? About $400 below where the current price is at. And then, if you take Bitcoin up to like 86k, you'll make like $1,000 on your demo account. Now, it's Monopoly money and whatnot. You should really play with whatever money you plan on using. So if you're not going to be using $19,000, you should probably use whatever you plan on using, like a $5,000 account or a $1,000 or $2,000 account. And then just see, like, when you're demo trading, can you at least not lose money? Because if you cannot lose money, like if you'll win trades and you'll lose trades. But overall, if you're able to maintain your account and not actually blow up the account, then you might be on your way to trading with real money, with your actual money. And then when you actually are able to like do a month or two of like not blowing up your account but actually gaining on your account, then you could try getting off the demo account and then going into the real deal, where you go into your actual futures account here and start trading Bitcoin with real money here. Okay, in this case, I got an $800 account here, and or at least that's how much is available right now, because I might already have like some trades ready to go here. And you can just put in, you know, like you want to get in at Bitcoin at 84,369 or whatever, or like you can do a market order and you can get in right now, and then you figure, you know, how much margin you want to put in. You know, I usually like doing $100 a margin. Very easy to remember, you know, whatever that is, and then I click on the take profit stop loss. And me personally, you know, on this account, I don't like to lose more than 20 bucks, which I think is like 2% of the account. So in this case, not 1%. So in this case, I'll do like you know, 84K as a stop loss, and it says I'll lose like 17 bucks. That's within my acceptable rules and parameters that I have for myself. I don't want to lose more than 2% of the account on the stop loss. And then here, you know, just take profit at 86K. I'll make $80 on this trade. That's like almost like a 4-to-1 ratio. Is it? I think it might be, yeah. Let me measure this out on TradingView actually. If I was to get in now on Bitcoin and take it to 86K and put the stop loss at 84K. Let's see, let's get into like the 15-minute time frame. I'll get rid of the VWP for now. But if I was to do something like that, right? I click on the projection here, the projection buttons. I click on long position, and I'm gonna get in at Bitcoin at 84,200, and I put the stop loss like 84K, and I'm just trying to like target 86K. Oh wow, it says 7-to-1 risk reward ratio. That's interesting. But usually when I get into a Bitcoin, right, I usually put my stop loss about like $500 below the entry price. So in this case, I'll probably put it at like 83,700. So in this case, I'll lose 0.6% to try and get like 2%. And the risk reward ratio is 3.5. That's still a good ratio. Anything that's like 3 or above is a good risk reward ratio to try to take. So you know, if you wanted to get into Bitcoin right now for a long, you could try, you know, long in right now. Put your stop loss at 83,700. Put your, you know, take profit at 86K here. Was just an idea, and it's a good risk reward ratio. And if, you know, if 2% is not good enough, obviously the day traders, that's not good enough. You would put like maybe 10x leverage to get 20%, or you could do 100x leverage and get like 200%. And with 100x leverage, you would have your stop loss. You'll lose about like 60% of your margin. So if you were to do something like that with 100x leverage, like let's go back in here, right? With 100x leverage, let's try this again. So here I go. If I was to do 100x leverage, oh, it's not gonna let me do that. No, it's not gonna let me do that because I already have a pending order here. But let me go into the demo account here, right? Let's just say like I was to do a demo trade here on Bitcoin, and I did 100x leverage, which I don't recommend for beginners to do. But if you want to do this for like experimental purposes, like we're kind of doing right now, you could do 100x leverage. There you go. You got 100x leverage here on WEEX. We were gonna try to do about $100 of margin here. So whatever that, I don't know. I don't even know if it'll let me do $100 of margin here. I think I might have to type this in. Let's just say we did, yeah, 1%. Well, what is $100 worth of Bitcoin? Maybe like 0.1 Bitcoin? Is that? No, it's gotta be like 0.01, right? Oh no, it actually is around 0.1. It's like 91 bucks. 0.1 Bitcoin right now is about like 91 bucks right now. Maybe like 0.11? Yeah, 0.11. You can see the margin would be about 102 bucks here. Look at that. The price is getting up on me as I'm talking about this. But like, alright. So anyways, let's just say like we're going to do this, right? 86K. Take profit one more time. Make $182. Stop loss. About $500 less than than where the current price is at. So like 83,950. So you'll lose about $44. Your ROI would be about negative 48% with 100x leverage here. So there you go. All right, let me get back in the chat here. See what you guys are saying. Someone says you're shorting oil and longing Tesla. Okay. Is anyone else gold versus US glitching? I don't know what that means. And Mars asked me, do I think Bitcoin will keep dropping or start slowly going up? I think we might get a little bit of relief rally tonight. So you can kind of see that Bitcoin is trying to climb up right now. On the 50-minute time frame, money flow is in the green right now on the 50-minute time frame. So I think Bitcoin does want to go up in the next hour or two. MACD is showing buying pressure is dying down right now on the 50-minute time frame. And let's see what the 1 hour time frame is showing. It shows that selling pressure is dying off. So selling pressure is dying off on the 1 hour time frame, and buying pressure is dying off as well on the 50-minute time frame. So that's a little bit conflicting there, but buying pressure could die down and then start increasing again. That's something that you also have to keep in mind here on the MACD indicator. Lorraine says Canton has a cup and handle. Well, let's go back to Canton. I think we're looking at the 4 hour time frame. Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, it's not really a rounded bottom, you know. I mean, have you ever seen a cup look like this? I don't know. It's usually cup and handle you would see like a U shape, right? Where it comes down, bottoms out for a little bit, and then starts rising up. I think this looks like just a part of a giant falling, a giant rising wedge, or maybe even a ascending triangle if you want to call it that. But this is looking more like a rising wedge to me, Lorraine. Not a cup and handle. But that's the thing about you know, pattern trading, is that it can be subjective. Unless it's like clearly obvious, it's like a rising wedge. And then you got some people saying, well, it's actually a cup and handle inside a rising wedge, which is also inside a falling wedge. You know, it's like, what is it? I don't really do pattern traders. Like when I first learned how to trade and day trade and invest and looking at the charts, I looked at patterns because that seems like pretty easy thing to do. And even as human beings, that's what humans do. We look for patterns, and that's what separates us from the animals. Animals cannot recognize patterns, but we can. But it's just too simple and subjective, because like, you'd be like, all right, well, I mean, is this a cup and handle, or is this like an inverse, you know, head and shoulder? Is this the left shoulder and this is the head and this is the right shoulder? You know, is this a falling, I mean, a rising wedge here? But even then, like, it doesn't really tell me what levels to look for, like the Fibonacci does, or like the moving averages show me, or like, you know, the VRVP indicator shows me like levels to look for that are very important. So I got away from looking at patterns, Lorraine, which was, you know, patterns are still useful. It gives you an overall idea of what could happen, especially on higher time frames, like the daily time frame or the weekly time frame. But doing patterns on like the 1 hour time frame is like, it's an idea, but it's not, doesn't mean we've seen patterns not play out. Like we've seen, like, you know what's supposed to be bullish is like, you know, an inverse head and shoulder pattern. It's supposed to be, you know, bullish, and then it rejects and it goes and turns into something else. So I don't really stick with patterns. That's like something that, to be honest with you, if I'm going to be real with you, that's kind of like what the rookies do, is look at patterns. All right, the beginners, the newbies, they look at patterns because it's easy for them to understand in the beginning. But like the stuff that I look for is like VRVP, Fibonacci, and then I like looking at the momentum indicators to figure out, you know, what the direction might be for a particular asset that I'm looking at. But I can see that. I can see it, but then again, like, your cup and handle does not look like the cup and handle that I think cup and handles look like. Okay? Because this looks like kind of like, if I'm going to call it another pattern besides a rising wedge, this kind of looks like an inverted head and shoulder, possibly. A cup and handle will probably look more like this, where it comes down, right? Makes a U shape. Goes flat for a little bit. Then starts coming back up. The same way that it came down. Then it you know, hits the double top of the cup and handle, and then it comes down again. Makes the handle of the cup and handle, makes a higher low, and then shoots up to higher prices. That's a cup and handle, Lorraine, if that's what you want to call it. This looks kind of like part of an inverted head and shoulder, but you know, whatever. You know, that's why I don't really fall for the pattern trader trap, because your cup and handle might look different from my cup and handle, and sometimes, you know, to me it doesn't look like a cup and handle. This is like forcing the idea of a cup and handle. This is not really a cup and handle to me. This is like maybe an inverted head and shoulder, maybe. But honestly, I think it's more part of a rising wedge in this case. So I don't think it's a cup and handle. I think it's a rising wedge. If I had to pick one out of all those, I would pick, oh, this is actually a rising wedge. But I get it, you know. Some people want to look for patterns. Oh, you said cup and handle leading into an inverse head and shoulder on the daily? Yeah. I mean, I know Bullish Babe does that too. She looks for patterns as well. And she got her trading and knowledge from watching Crypto Lifer, who also does that too. And Crypto Lifer will be like, hey guys, so this is actually a inverted head and shoulder pattern, which is also inside a cup and handle, which is also inside a rising wedge. And it's like, well, which one is it? Come on, which one is it? And like, why do we care so much? I mean, how is this going to play out? Okay. I'm looking for like Fibonacci levels, to be honest. I'm not really looking for patterns. I'm looking for moving averages. Look for that are confluent with the Fibonacci. So like in this case, we're on the 4-hour time frame. I'm looking for moving averages that agree that 14 cents is a good area to try to get in at. And then I'm also looking at the VRVP indicator here on the right to figure out what other levels to look for here. And I think the VRVP indicator was saying like 11.5 or like 11 cents was an area to look for. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for levels. I don't really look for patterns. I want to know what price can I buy at a low price, and I want to look for what price I can sell at a high price. I don't give a crap what goes on in the middle. It could go, you know, zigzagging. It could do loop-the-loops and inverted head and shoulders and all that BS. All I care about is it going to hit 17 cents? And then can I sell 17 cents? And then it can do another, you know, flip, upside down, cross, you know, inverted head and shoulder with a regular head and shoulder, and then is it going to hit 14 cents? That's all I care about. I don't care what it does in the meantime. I only care is it going to hit 14 cents. That's how I trade. I don't give a crap. I don't give a damn what it does in the middle. Kind of do, but not really. All I care about is it going to hit my level? And should I long or should I short at that level? And then is it going to hit this level? And should I long or short at this level? If it's high, I should probably take profit on long and take a short. But if it comes down to like 14 cents, I probably should take profit on the short and look for a long. That's all I care about. I don't care about the patterns. That's something that the beginners do. But it's something that the beginners got to hold on to, because they don't, all the stuff is crazy. And sometimes the patterns do play out, but they usually play out on the higher time frames. They don't really play out that much on the smaller time frames. You're going to get disappointed trying to trade like the 15-minute time frame and watching your inverted head and shoulder not play out. You're going to be like, oh my god, it was supposed to play out, and it didn't. Ava Medina says, scam price crypto life. Oh my god. Lorraine says, no more likes for you. I don't care. Now Lorraine's like, I'm taking away the like button because he's calling me a newbie, and he's saying that pattern traders are rookies and stuff like that. No, it's like I did it too when I was a beginner trader, and then I realized that they don't play out. So then I was like, well, what works? The VRVP indicator works. The Fibonacci works. Moving averages, especially on higher time frames, they work. That's what I do. I look for other things besides patterns here. I think patterns are cute. They're cute. You know, it's like, oh, look at that. It's cute. It's like a nice little cup and handle, you know. We can go have some tea time and drink some coffee with each other with our cup and handle. It's cute, you know. It's funny. It's like, all right, yeah, I get it. You're a new trader and you're looking for patterns. It's But did the pattern play out or not? That's what I really want to know. Yeah, I am a big fan of visual range volume profile. I am a big fan of the VRVP indicator, and I learned a lot about the VRP indicator and how to trade it from this other guy called Frankie Candles. I gotta probably give him a shout out because he has some really good tutorial videos on it. I mean, I got a tutorial video on it too here on YouTube, but I gotta show you where I, got most of my information from about the VRVP indicator, because I have seen other traders trade on it, but he, Frankie Candles actually did a lot of good breakdowns about how to set it up and how he trades the VRVP indicator here, and I gotta give it to him. Like, this guy, he does the VRVP indicator, and he also does like market cipher B like I do, and what else? He does like the VWAP and stuff like that. He does look for patterns as well, but he's not really a pattern trader either. Most of the expert traders, they don't really do patterns, from what I've seen, including myself. So, but like, let's see, on his playlist here, he does have like a beginner series, which is good to check out his beginner series, and just I learn as much as you can for free, especially if these guys are giving out that content for free. Frankie is a big YouTuber. He's got 83,000 subscribers, over 1,700 videos. He's been doing YouTube longer than I have. But yeah, if you want to go on my YouTube channel, please, thank you. And then also give me a follow and subscribe here. You can see that, well, besides the lives here, on the videos here, I do have the VRVP indicator video where I give you my breakdown as to how to set up the VRVP indicator here. And I also have another video here about the Fibonacci, and I also show you how to set it up, and then I show you how I trade with it. So you might want to give those videos a look here. So yeah, shout out to me, Damien, Meet Damien, on the Meet Damien YouTube channel here. And then for my TikTok guys, I also got that here too. Thank you, Valerie, for following me here. And then I got the VRVP indicator here video pinned to the top of the channel. I got the Fibonacci video pinned to the top, and I got the just a tutorial video as to how to set up a chart, how to read a chart, the MACD and the stochastic RSI and regular RSI indicator. I got that pinned to the top as well on TikTok. Alrighty, okay. Alva Medina says, "Oh no, Lorene." Yeah, Lorene's. I think Lorene got a little mad at me because I said patterns are not really that big of a deal to be looking for. Bonza says, "You'll check it out. What would you recommend to combine with a VRVP or just keep it minimalist?" So for VRVP, I do look to see if like, let me see if I go into like maybe like we'll go back to Bitcoin again. Why not? So VRVP indicator, I do look for like Fibonacci or moving averages here to look for. You can see here moving average wise here on Bitcoin. You can see there's a high volume node here that's confluent with the 100 and the 50 on the 4-hour time frame at 91K, 91,400 here. And then if I jump to the daily time frame here, you'll see that there's the VRVP indicator. Once it does fire up here, there's a high volume node here that's close to this 50 moving average at 93,900, and I got the level off at 94,500. So when you get up to here, the moving average guys are gonna be like time to sell, And then the VRVP indicator guys are going to look at this and say, oh, time to sell. So, you know, you could join them by selling with them. I do both. I do moving averages and VRVP. So this would definitely tell me it's time to sell Bitcoin at 94K. That's how I look at these things here. And then if I was not doing moving averages here, I could probably do a Fibonacci to see what Fibonacci's are showing here. And I'll probably measure from this swing low to this swing high here and see what that does here for Fibonacci. And look at that. Look at that, how beautiful that works there. Okay, you got a 0.236 Fibonacci level here, showing that 87,600 is a level to look for. And that's literally right where the POC is at, the point of control. The point of control and the Fibonacci are both agreeing that 87,600 is an important level for you to look for. Okay, so screw that cup and handle crap. Screw that you know, rising wedge or whatever. I do these levels for my day trading here, and I'm looking for point of control and a Fibonacci node that are both saying the same thing. Those are the levels we'll be looking for. Ava Medina says, did I buy the gold dip? I actually bought a silver. I bought silver at $108 earlier this morning. Had a level that I was looking for, and it hit. It actually went down to like $106 or $107. And then I sold when silver jumped right back up to $117. So I took advantage of that, Ava Medina. We actually talked about that early in the live stream. If I go into my Discord here, I'll go into the show my gains here. And your boy Damien, right? Your boy Damien was buying silver this morning at $108. Took a little bit of profit at $115, but I also took more profit at $117. If you go back, if I look at the general chat here, I think I actually put that I sold silver at $116.98. So there you go. I long silver, 20x long, got in at 108.25, sold at 116.98. There you go. Today's date, January 29th, 2026, at 3:51 p.m. Eastern time is when I got out of that silver long. Okay, so there you go. I was like, silver gains go, brrr, printing out that money there. So there you go. And then, you know, I also put up when I go live. There's my YouTube live stream right there. For my TikTok guys, if you want to go find the replays here, you go to the Meet Damien YouTube channel on on YouTube, and you can watch the replay of this live stream. All right, you can find that Meet Damien YouTube channel right here. All right, don't know why I somehow only got 571 subscribers here on YouTube. And yet TikTok, I did 6,000. I started both channels at the same time back in like the beginning of 2024. My official birth date for both channels, I did TikTok and YouTube in December of 2023. And somehow TikTok just took off and YouTube just like, whatever. 571 subscribers, okay. Well, TikTok, I don't know. I feel like things are more interactive on TikTok. This is probably where the cool kids are hanging out at, so whatever. At least the cool kids want to follow me. Oh, God. All right. Oh, we got MMA Esquire in the chat. How you doing, MMA Esquire? Let's see what MMA Esquire is doing. He's on TikTok. Let's see what kind of stuff he's putting up on TikTok. MMA Esquire. I know MMA Squire has done some viral videos about MMA and mixed martial arts, MMA. If it's gonna show, okay, can we show the what is going on? Why are we going to blank page here? All right, MMA Squire. There we go. He has about 1,000 followers here, over 664,000 likes. Okay. MMA Squire, but like some of his MMA videos here, he'll make like funny jokes and stuff like that. What's your most popular video here? Is there a way to figure out your most popular? Because I know you got like 1 million views on some of your videos here. I can't remember which one was the one that is popping off like that. But let's see. I think, was it this one? Oh my god, you've been posting up a lot of videos here. Was it this one? Where is it? Where are your views? Where's your view count? I don't even know where the view count is here. It's not showing the view counts here. I'm totally lost here. I'm trying to find the views, but I've seen MEXC with like at least 1 million views on some of his videos here. But obviously, if this guy got 600,000 likes, there's been a bunch of people looking at his channel here. You guys might want to go check him out on TikTok here. Give him a follow. Come join the 1,000 followers that are being entertained by MEXC and his funny jokes about mixed martial arts. Let's see. Anyways, that's my little shout out there to MEXC. We got Abe, and YouTube says he's sorry he's late for the TA. He's asking, are we at a bottom or are we going to do a further dump? Here on Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin's getting a little bit of a relief rally tonight, mainly because Wall Street is done selling. They went home. You could tell, like, you know, earlier today. Let's go into the 1 hour time frame for Bitcoin. But look at this, guys, huh? Around 9 a.m. Eastern time, when Wall Street shows up for business, when they open up for business, 9 a.m. Eastern time, Bitcoin just starts dropping. It was at, what, 87K earlier this morning? And then it went down to, like, in the first hour of business for Wall Street, it went down to, like, 86K, 86,800. Then it dropped down another 2%, down to, like, 84K. And then Wall Street goes on a lunch break at 11 a.m. or whatever, and Bitcoin starts going back up again. And then Bitcoin goes up a little bit more to like 85K. And then Wall Street comes back from their lunch, and they just decide to dump down on us some more here. And it's not until like around like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, when Wall Street is done killing the longs here, that we start going back up, because they sold the Bitcoin that they were planning on selling. And you know, then we get a little bit of a relief rally, and then Wall Street closes up shop at 4 p.m. because they work bankers hours, right? From 9:30 a.m. to like 4 p.m. Eastern time. They're only in the office for like 6 or 7 hours, and then they go home, and then we can actually have a little bit of a relief rally here on Bitcoin. That's what I've seen. It's been going like this for like three months now, 3 or 4 months. They've been dumping on us every morning that they can, and then we get a relief rally later on that night. And I think that's what's going on right now with Bitcoin. So we might get a little bit of relief rally, and then they might dump on us again tomorrow. Tomorrow we might be in a government shutdown, and I think Wall Street's going to use that as an excuse to dump on us, and maybe we do go down to like 83, 82, or 80 or 80K here. Levels to look out below, I already highlighted here. 81,800 is a level to look for here. What's the target? Relief rally target? Well, I like looking at the 1 hour time frame for the day trades here. Would be nice if Bitcoin can get up to like 87,500, because that's a high volume node level there. I don't think we're gonna do that tonight or tomorrow. I think Wall Street's gonna dump on us again before we can even get. Even if we do get to 87K, that should be a warning sign that Wall Street's going to dump on us, because that's the level that Wall Street dumped on us today. Like Wall Street, we were at 87K, and then Wall Street sent us down to hell. Okay, so if we get back up there, they're going to just be like, "You guys are back for more," and then they're going to just try to sell on us again at 87K. At least in my opinion. So if we go up to 87K, I would definitely take profit on the long and probably enter a short, and then maybe join Wall Street when it comes to shorting here. I was measuring 86K. Let me see. Let me pull the moving averages here now. So 80. All right. So we do have on the 1 hour time frame a 21 EMA at 86,300. I think that's what I was trying to target here for a potential long on Bitcoin. So 86,000. It says 86,300. By the time the price climbs up, it's probably not going to do it in 1 hour, but in the next few hours, if we continue climbing, I would expect to get sold off at 86K here. If Bitcoin's able to do that tonight. I don't know. It still is a guessing game here. We're still using probabilities here to figure out where the price might go next, but using the moving averages here kind of gives me an idea. Like on the 1 hour time frame, could be a good idea to try to take some profit at 86K for Bitcoin here. Anything on like the 30 or the 15-minute time frame? 30 minutes saying that we could get knocked down at 84,900 on the 21 EMA. And look, now we're getting a value area high at 85K. I don't know. I wouldn't really pay attention to the VRVP on the smaller time frames like that. When I get into the smaller time frames, I'm more concerned about the moving averages. Okay, and then I already marked off the levels to look for on the VRVP indicator with the red lines here. Okay, so that's how I usually play. So if I'm long in this, maybe take partial profit at the 30-minute 21 EMA is an idea here. Take partial profit, and then on the 1 hour time frame, take some more profit at that 21 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. And then let's see, we didn't even look at the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame, we are above the 21 EMA on the 15-minute time frame, but top side looks like 86,800. You got a 50 moving average here, which is higher than what the take profit target was for the 21 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. So, you know, once you get up to like 86K, if you do get up to 86K tonight, I would take some profit on the longs. Maybe entertain the idea of doing a short if you're going to stay up that late. See how that plays out. So, yeah, that's what I'd be looking for a target to the upside. 86K as of now for Bitcoin if we're able to get up there. Let's see, do we have the momentum to get up there? MACD is still showing some buying pressure here, but it's kind of dying off a little bit. But buying pressure could start increasing again, or the buying pressure could like slowly die off, but the price just slowly creeps up at the same time. So we'll be monitoring this for tonight, the 15-minute time frame MACD. What I don't want to see is I don't want to see the MACD. I don't want to see the buying pressure go into red, and I don't want to see this blue line curve down and cross the orange line to the downside. Because if it does that, then we're going to see lower prices. Yeah. So it looks like the market kind of calmed down a little bit. Maybe entering a long right now on Bitcoin, not such a bad idea. And then where would you put your stop loss? Well, conservatively, you can put it down towards the lows for the day. And that would be a 1.4% stop loss. But if you're targeting 86K, or in this case 86,400, you're only going to get a risk-reward ratio of 1.7. So that's a little bit too much of risk on your stop loss for the amount of reward that you're going to get on your take profit. You could, I usually, when I enter, if I'm going to enter right now, I put it like $500 below on the entry is where I'll put the stop loss. Usually when I get into a long on Bitcoin. If I was anxious to get in on Bitcoin right now for a scalp trade, I'll put the stop loss about $500 below at 83,900. I would be targeting 86K or 86,400. And your risk reward ratio is 4.6. That's a good risk reward ratio. That's worth taking a long here for a scalp. But we don't know. I mean, we could come down to 83,900. That's right where the 21 EMA is at on the 15-minute time frame, and you could get stopped out. You could get stopped out. I would wait maybe for us to come down to the 21 EMA, where you could just move this down, where you get in at 84K. You put your stop loss at 83,500. Now you're hoping that the 21 EMA remains as support here, and you're still targeting 86K here, and your risk reward ratio is 4.1. So I think right now, not a good time to get into a long on Bitcoin, even though it might creep up. You might have to just wait this one out. You might have to wait this one out, and then maybe when we do get up to like 86K, you can try to enter a short. And if you enter a short, then it's going to be almost like the opposite, right? Where you go short like 86,000, 400 or 500, somewhere around there. You put your take profit back down to like 84,000. And where would you put your stop loss on the short? Well, I usually like to keep my stop losses tight, about $500 from the price action. So if we're gonna enter at 86,380, I would probably put the stop loss like 86.9. And risk reward ratio is still pretty good here. But we might push past that. We might actually get up to the $87,500 level, which I already marked off on the chart. I think a better short would be like right here at 87,500. Try to target 84K. And look at that, your risk reward ratio becomes even better when you short a little bit higher than that at 87K here. So this is where being patient plays out. Right now, you probably missed out on getting in on a good long on Bitcoin at 83K, which I did too. Like I was trying to get in at 83K on the dot, not knowing that it was just gonna reverse here at 83,260. I didn't know we were gonna start reversing. And then when I saw this reversal, I was like, well, maybe I can get back in again when it goes to 83,600, and it just kept climbing. So I do have a order ready to go if we do go down to 83,600. I go into my WEEX account here. When this thing decides, I don't know why WEEX always takes forever to load on the computer. It's not like this on my phone, I'll tell you that. Probably because it's loading up the chart. Chart takes up a lot of data or something. But yeah, just get into this thing. I have an open order ready to go on Bitcoin for a long, and I'm trying to get at 83,600, and then my stop loss is 83,200. Yeah, all right. Don't remind me. All right, but if I get in this long, this 40x long at 84,000, I'm sorry. Yeah, if I get into this 40x long at 83,600, okay, and I put my stop loss at 83,200, I'm only going to be risking $28 or about 19% with that 40x long, and I'm trying to target 86K and get 171 bucks and have an ROI of about 114%. But this might not ever happen. I might have to wait till tomorrow for me to get filled at this area. And by the time tomorrow comes, maybe I decide to cancel the order because I don't know if I might be able to get a better price than 83K. Thank you, Ava Medina, for putting out that link for the Meet Damien Discord, which is free to join, guys. You can, for my TikTok guys, you can, well, you go onto my TikTok channel here. You can see the Meet Damien channel in the bio. I got a link tree here. You click on that link, it will take you to the link tree, and then the Meet Damien server is Discord server is free to join. You click on that, it will take you to Discord, where you can find me here on Discord. You'll see when I go live. I'll tell you when I go live. Going live in 20 minutes, everyone. And then of course you got Laureen helping me out, saying, "Hey, everybody, Damien's live," so you'll know when I go live. But then you can also talk to me when I'm not live streaming. You'll also see what trades I'm in. In this case, I was in a silver long, 20x long. That was a banger of a trade. Got in at 108 bucks, and I sold it at 116 for that nice solid 161% gain with 20x leverage. But there's also other knowledgeable traders on this Discord here. Cameron is a very experienced trader. He does pretty well. If you go into like the show your gains, where we like to show our successful wins here, there's me once again. I did a $177 trade on Bitcoin where I was up 86% on a 40x short on Bitcoin, so I can make money while it's going down. And there's my silver long that I when I first got in, and there's a Bitcoin short. But there's other people here that are also doing pretty well, like Michael here. Cameron with his 100x short on Bitcoin. Cameron's a good guy to learn from when you can. But Cameron, you know, he's a good trader, and he'll tell you what to look out for. But some people like to teach and others don't. I don't mind teaching. That's why I'm here on YouTube teaching. You know, I'm here on TikTok teaching you guys. Some of these experienced traders, like, they learned it, but they don't have the time or patience to actually teach other traders. So that's why I'm here for you guys, trying to teach you. And then we got another guy here shorting, you know, Q with 10x leverage, up 451%. Congratulations to Canada Dry for doing that. And then once you know, there's Cameron again, and Lorraine. She's new, but she's learning, and she's taking shots at, you know, long and gold with a 20x long, up 30%. But yeah, you know, this is where people share their gains. You'll learn from other traders besides myself. There's Let's Go doing a 50x short on Solana, up 148%. So, you know, these guys, they learn, you know, as much as they can from me. Going on the YouTube and the TikTok channels, you get all this information for free. But yeah, I mean, you can also support me if you want to by gifting me here on TikTok, or if you join that link here for WEEX, right? Going back to the you know, link tree here. If you click on this link and join WEEX, you know, I do get commissions from the day trading that you do, so that does help. That's another way to support me. And then just clicking the like, if you're able to click the like button. Share the video, the live stream, with another friend of yours that's also trading. That's another way to help and support me here too, on the Meet Damien community here. But yeah, guys, I appreciate Alba Medina for sharing those links there. He's one of the moderators on YouTube. He's also moderates on TikTok as well. So you guys gotta behave yourself when you see Alba Medina in the chat here, because he might kick you out if you're not behaving yourself. But yeah, we have a pretty good community, family-friendly community. You don't see me dropping the F-bombs. I know some other influencers drop F-bombs and stuff like that. You don't see that here with me. I try to keep it family-friendly, you know. I got nephews and nieces. I don't have kids yet, but I got nephews and nieces, and they might watch me one day on YouTube and TikTok, and I don't need to drop the F-bomb. That's not how I roll, you know. I might say shit, or, you know, Bitcoin's ass is falling or something, but you won't see me, you know, getting too much into the you know, the slurs and stuff, or whatever you want to call it, the foul language. Let's see. KN Gangsta says, "Mark my word for not longing today." I actually long silver today, was able to make some money. There are some other assets out there that you can make money on. Feral Candle says, "What's my favorite trade so far this year? What do I think is going to do well this year?" I mean, silver was doing well last year. One of the best performing assets ever. I like looking for things that drop and fall and people give up on. I think Bitcoin might be that asset later on this year, but it's not, because the bulls are still hopeful. They haven't been destroyed and wrecked yet. Maybe when a big institution or one of these big institutions, when they go bankrupt, if like MicroStrategy starts liquidating their Bitcoin because you know, they did too much leverage or whatever, and Bitcoin just drops below their liquidation levels, that's when I want to go long on Bitcoin. So, but that might not be until Bitcoin hits like 30 or 40 grand or something like that. Alba Medina's asked me, do I see anything short term for Pepe? Pepe. I can take a look at Pepe for you. Gangsta KN Gangsta says 2027 good year to accumulate, since we'll be close to halving. Yeah, I think later on this year will be a better time to buy some Bitcoin. I know some people are trying to say buy now or whatever, but I think Bitcoin's got to run its course through a bear market like it does every 4 years. And some people are like, oh, This time is different. No year. It's not a 4-year cycle. It's a super cycle, and it's like, well, Bitcoin's down 30%, almost 40%. Is that part of your super cycle theory? Your super cycle thesis? Are we supposed to drop 30, 40% and still call it a bull market? No, not me. This is a bear market. Bitcoin's, on the daily time frame, Bitcoin's below the 200-day moving average. Whether it's Bitcoin, gold, silver, stocks, Microsoft, Apple, oil, anytime you're below the 200-day moving average, you're in a bear market. That's my rule. Okay, anytime you're below that red line, that 200-day moving average, you're in a bear market. And then you're also below 20%. In traditional markets, being below 20% from your highs for the year or your all-time high is considered a bear market. I think some cryptocurrency guys would say Bitcoin below 30% from the all-time high or the highs for the year is a bear market. We're below 30% on Bitcoin. We're in a bear market, guys. Until Bitcoin starts acting bullish, until Bitcoin starts making higher highs on the daily time frame. Like we've been, let me get rid of the moving averages here real quick, but we've been making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And this is probably going to end up being another lower high after we had like a little bit of a relief rally. And guess what? We've been making lower lows to get down to those lower highs. So if this ends up being a lower high, we're probably going to make a lower low again and still be in a bear market for Bitcoin. Alright, let me just see what else I missed here on the chat. Alright. Okay, let me see. Cayenne Gangsta, did you follow me here on TikTok? Go ahead and give me a follow and I'll follow you back. That's how I roll though. You gotta follow me first. It seems like you're enjoying the content here. So if you want to see me show up on the live stream again for you, you gotta follow me here because there are some Meet Damien wannabes and scammers out there that are trying to scam you, and I want to make sure you're following the right Meet Damien. All right, so make sure you're following me here. Go ahead and click the top left screen with my profile picture of me in the red shirt with my pilot headset, and go ahead and follow me here so that way you make sure you got the right Meet Damien, because you do have the right Meet Damien. See, I'm right here. This is Meet Damien. Hi. You won't get that on any other account there because they're pretending to be me. They're not actually Meet Damien. You might have like some creepy old dude who's trying to take your money or something like that. Or you might have some guy in another country who doesn't even speak English some guy, I'm not gonna, I shouldn't really say any country, but you might have some guy who doesn't even speak English trying to get your money, get you to follow the wrong Meet Damien. I'm the right one. Okay, let's take a look at Pepe, and I think that's gonna be it for today, guys. I gotta get going. I've been live for almost 2 hours now. Appreciate you guys coming on to live stream. Don't forget to hit the like button if you've done so already. Don't forget to follow me and subscribe if you're new to the Meet Damien channel here. Alright, so what? I'm just gonna get rid of some of this previous chart work here on Pepe. We're just gonna do this brand new, right? Do some brand new TA on Pepe. Pepe, what have you done, and what can you do for us here, Pepe? Pepe. Looks like you tried to do a bull flag here, but nope, that didn't play out, right? No bullish consolidation. You're pretty much back to the lows that you were at back here in December. Alright, let's see what the moving average is looking like here. Okay, so moving averages kind of show us a story here where Pepe got up to almost the 100-day moving average, got front run a little bit and sold off before it could hit. Came down a little bit, got support off the 50-day moving average. I think these moving averages are pretty important to add to your chart here. The 200 is the red, the 100 is the blue. The 50-day is the green line, and the 21 EMA is the white line. I like using these moving averages. Daily time frame is very important to have. Smaller time frames, they're very useful to try to figure out like take profit targets and stuff like that. But yeah, came down, came back up, try to
Get up to that 100-day move now. I just couldn't do that. Came down, lost your 50-day. And now you're just flagging down, I guess. Being weak. Let's do a Fibonacci now here. After making this, you know, little swing. We'll call this a swing low here, the swing high. And it looks like you're just hanging out at the 0.236 retracement at 475. Right now we're at 473 here on Pepe. If you can't hold this, then you're probably going to come down and make the full retracement all the way back down to like 397 here on Pepe. Now let's see. Does Pepe have the momentum to go to the downside? Yeah, I didn't say upside. But does Pepe have the momentum to go to the downside? On the MACD indicator, the selling pressure has been a problem here. But selling pressure was starting to die off. But the thing is that selling pressure could start increasing again here. I want to see like Pepe be ready to do a MACD flip where the selling pressure is like right over here, about to turn green. Maybe even get some buying pressure here, but you don't got that. So Pepe could still go down to lower prices here. Even though selling pressure is dying down, it could start increasing again. Like you see selling pressure die down right here, and then you got a solid red candle with selling pressure increased. But then selling pressure then died down a little bit more. Let's see, is there any fake outs here where I see on the MACD where selling pressure decreases and then increases? Like back here, like you see like how selling pressure decreased and then it started increasing again and then it started decreasing. And then you got the MACD flip. If we got the MACD flip, I'd be like, alright, looks like Pepe wants to go higher. But in this case, on the MACD, it looks like Pepe could go lower. I wouldn't say it could go higher, and I wouldn't say it wants to go higher. It looks like it could go lower, according to the MACD here. And then market cipher B. Market cipher B, money flow is in the red. Now money flow is trying to go up, which is good. That's good to see. But you got a red sell dot today, so like what's up with that, huh? Okay. If this was good, then you would just have a green buy dot and there would be no red sell dot and money flow would be continuing to go up. But this is showing that money flow could start coming down again on Pepe here. And here you go. Like here's an instance here in November where money flow was trying. Like you got the green buy dot and then money flow was starting to go up again, and then you got the red sell dot, and then look, money flow started decreasing to the downside again. So this is what I'm worried about with Pepe, where money flow could start decreasing. You could go to lower prices. I'm sorry guys, I'm not a big fan of being in altcoins during a bear market. So, especially a meme coin. If you got any meme coins, not financial advice, but if you got meme coins and you're in a bear market, you're about to find out how bad it gets during a bear market. That's all I'm going to say. If you're in altcoins, you're going to probably find out how bad it gets during a bear market. If you're in Bitcoin, you will probably find out how bad it can get during a bear market in cryptocurrencies. So, I mean, out of all of them, if I had to be in crypto, I would just be in Bitcoin because it's not going to drop as hard as the other ones are. The other ones have already dropped harder. The crazy thing about cryptocurrencies is that some of these cryptocurrencies are down 90%, 80%, 50% from where they were like a year ago. And it might be, you know, it might be hard to believe that these cryptocurrencies could go down another 90%, but yeah, they could go down another 90%. Especially if Bitcoin's going to drop 80% or 70% or something like that. The altcoins will drop 80 or 90%. Just giving you that warning out there, fair warning to you guys, because I've been in cryptocurrency since 2017. I seen the 2017 bull market. I seen the 2018 bear market. I seen the 2021 bull market, and then I saw the 2022 bear market. And then I guess I just saw the 2024, 2025 bull market, if you want to call it that. It was kind of like weak sauce. I think the bull market for altcoins was 2024. And then Bitcoin still was able to make a few all-time highs and new all-time highs. And then Ethereum and Solana were able to eke out a new all-time high as well. XRP kind of did a new all-time high. But guess what comes after the all-time highs in cryptos? We usually get a bear market. And I think we're about to get a bear market here on Bitcoin and crypto for 2026. Unfortunately to say that, maybe it won't be as violent and as nasty as the other bear markets now that there's Wall Street involved. But we've seen what Wall Street does every morning now. They're selling their Bitcoin, and they're going to continue selling their Bitcoin until they're at break even. And Wall Street didn't really get involved in Bitcoin until $40,000 Bitcoin. So we might actually drop down on Bitcoin. You know, if I zoom out here, we might drop down to $40,000 where the Bitcoin ETFs got involved here. If I turn on that VRVP indicator here, you can see that we have a value area high at 37K. And on the monthly time frame, we have a 50 simple moving average at 37K. So, you know, this line is going up. So by the time the price comes down on Bitcoin and we actually get down to like 40K or 30K, this 50 moving average could be at like 42, 43K. And that's where maybe we actually get a bounce off of Bitcoin at 40K. Right where the Bitcoin ETFs got involved, because that might be the price where Wall Street's like, holy crap, Bitcoin dropped down to 40K. All right, we're at break even. No need to sell. Maybe it might be time for them to start buying again. All right, so yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts there about how far Bitcoin could go down in a bear market here. I think more likely we will hit 60K. You know, we'll hit 60K on our way to 40K. But I think 60K on Bitcoin, if I just zoom in a little bit here, because we got data going only to like 2022 over there, but like you can see that there is a high volume node here at like 66K, 67K. I think 66, 67K is an area where Bitcoin could get a reaction, try to do an oversold bounce. I would be, if you made me buy Bitcoin this year, I would start buying at 67K. But I might wait for lower than that, because what's the rush? What's the rush? It's not like Bitcoin's going to 100K this month, or going to 120K this month, 130K. I don't think Bitcoin has that in itself right now to do it. So I don't think there's a rush to get into Bitcoin right now. I think you can wait for lower prices. So there you go. Those are my finishing thoughts here on crypto and Bitcoin. Levels to look for if we get back into the daily time frame here. Levels to look for my Bitcoin investors and bears out there. To the downside, we could see Bitcoin come down to this $81,000 level here. 81,800 is a level to look for on the VRVP indicator. Also, 84,500 is another level to look for. We're kind of at that right now. So maybe now might be an idea to try to go long on Bitcoin. If you're going to take a long on Bitcoin right now, you should probably consider taking some profit at 87,500 for the day traders out there. For the swing traders, if you're lucky enough, maybe Bitcoin does get back up to 90K. 90,500 is another level to look for, and you can see that we hit that to the T here, right on the dot on yesterday, on Wednesday. Okay, so 90,500. Your upside target in 87K, also your upside target for Bitcoin. And that's it, guys. That's it for now. We got to play it day by day. That's why you got to come onto these live streams. I'll be live tomorrow, same time, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. Probably not going to go as long as I did today because, you know, we had a good stream here today. But I usually try to get done around like 6 p.m. Lately these days. Mar says Canton Network before... I looked at Canton Network. We looked at it like twice already. I'll do it one more time because I know you've been around. I'm just going to do a summary analysis here. You should be looking for a short on Mar because we might be double topping here. And you'll probably make more money if we do come down. The 21 EMA is sitting at 14 cents. That's the target to take profit on the short. And then also you can probably take more profit at this 0.5 retracement at 12.5 cents. Okay, if Mar is going to continue being bullish, you got a 1272 above you at 20 cents here, 21 cents roughly, and then you got a 1618 at 24 cents. On the momentum indicators here, Mar looks kind of solid, so maybe it does want to go up to higher prices here. And then on the MACD, your buying pressure is increasing, and you got a MACD crossover to the upside, and you're not really curving down on the blue line. So Canton looks like it is probably going to go up to higher prices here, but I would just take out a short anyways, because you know this could form to be a double top here, and things could change, especially if tomorrow, like the government shut down, if war breaks out with Iran and stuff like that. You're gonna be happy that you probably went into a short if this thing does come down. Okay, but yeah, if you're in a long right now, I would probably take some profit right now at 18 cents, and then probably take more profit at 21 cents, 0.208 pennies if you're still in the long on Canton here. And that's it, guys. That's it for this live stream. Thank you for coming in. Be on the lookout for my next live stream tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And good luck trading and investing in whatever asset you get into, guys. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. And of course, the music died. But for my YouTube guys, don't forget to use that referral code there for WEEX if you're going to start trading on WEEX exchange here. And let me try to get that music back up and running again. All right. Best way to help and support me here on on the Meet Damien community is to sign up using that referral code there for WEEX, where you can take advantage of the $30,000 bonuses that they got exclusive to the Meet Damien community here. XVDP for the referral code there, guys. Take care.